Good morning, everyone. As we read this week, as the Jewish people go out of Egypt, we conclude the story of the Exodus from Egypt. And while this is one of the most amazing, fascinating stories, movies have been made about the Exodus from Egypt, the 10 plagues, and the splitting of the sea that we read in this week's Torah portion. We find that throughout the narrative of the freedom and the Exodus of the Jewish people, the Jews are receiving commandments to observe Rosh Chodesh, to put on tefillin, to redeem their firstborn son, to tell the story of the Exodus of Egypt to their children. Interlaced and interwoven with the narrative of the story are commandments. And the lesson is so powerful. The Torah is not a history book. It's not here to just tell us a great historic story and event, but it's here to take these stories and to actualize them and translate them into deeds, into tools that will affect our lives in a positive way, not just at the moment of the Exodus, but for generations and generations to come. And until today, we observe Rosh Chodesh, we redeem our firstborn son, we tell the story of the Exodus from Egypt. We take the lessons of history and we apply them to our daily lives. And that's the beauty of Torah, that it's not just a story that happened way back when. History, his story. It's my story. It's my lessons to observe and implement in my life. And we're going through a modern day Exodus from Egypt. As we watch the hostages coming home, they're literally coming out of slavery, coming out of bondage. And when we see the evil rulers and dictators and despots in the Arab world who dehumanize their own people and use their citizens as human shields, it's like Pharaoh in Egypt who didn't care about his own people. It's the story of the Exodus from Egypt being relived 3,300 years later. But the most important thing is not to just think this is a story or an event in history, but what are the lessons, the life lessons that we could use to change our lives for the better, just like we continue to improve our lives through the lessons of the story of the Exodus from Egypt. One of the amazing young girls who came out of captivity was Agam Berger, who in captivity started to observe Shabbat, fasted on Yom Kippur, didn't eat chametz on Pesach. And what she showed us is that even as you're going through the worst nightmare in your life, you could seek ways to become a better human being, a better Jew, more connected to your faith, more connected to your people. And she inspired her entire nation. And yesterday, just 4 days after her release on Thursday, there was a video circulating how her sister, her younger sister Bar, was inducted into the IDF, beginning her service. And you see this young girl, Agam Berger, who 20 years old, just came out of captivity, and she's walking with pride, with her head held high, holding the arm of her sister as she walks down on the ceremony and helps her be inducted by placing her hat on and her beret on her shoulder, inducting her into the IDF. And to think about the fact that Agam had begun her duty at the Nachal Oz Army base, where she was abducted from October 7th. She started her duty on Thursday morning, and then 3 days later, she was taken captive. But yet, she is transmitting the strength to her younger sister, saying, despite what I went through, you should carry on your service to the Jewish people. Today, Donald Trump will meet with the President, the Prime Minister of Israel. This is the first meeting with a world leader. Let us all pray that the meeting goes well, and let us hope and pray that Prime Minister Netanyahu will bring that strength of the Jewish people to the Oval Office and speak clearly to the President of the United States of the free world about the need to redeem and to free the Jewish people, every single hostage from bondage. Have a wonderful day.